All right, welcome back. We've got a fun one planned for you right now. So I want to ask you one very important question. Before we can move on to the next couple of things, I need to know, how do you value you? Now, I'm not talking about what you charge, what your hourly rate is, or anything along those lines. What I want to know is, what value do you place on an hour of your time? Value and price, two different things, right? Price, what it actually costs. Value, what I would pay for it, what it could cost me, what I'd be willing to exchange in return. Okay, so let's think about that value for a second, right? Why do I want to know this? Because there are certain things that I will do and certain things that I choose not to do. Not because I'm not good at them or I don't like doing them, but because I realize that they're just simply below my pay grade. So we need to figure out just exactly how you value an hour of your time. So here's what we're going to do. I want you to grab a calculator. I'm going to pause for a second, let you grab a calculator. You can pause the video if you need to, but grab a calculator and don't just pretend, right? We've got to do the work. Be the 10% that actually grabs a calculator right now. Got it? Great. All right. So I want you to think for a second. Next year, how much money would you like to make? I'm not saying, based on your salary, based on your current sales. I'm asking you, how much money realistically do you want to make in the next coming year? Whatever that number is, put it into the calculator. Now, there are 52 weeks in the year. I suspect that you're going to want to take some vacation time. So, out of those 52 weeks, how many weeks will you be working, physically doing the job? Whatever that number is, divide your first number by that number and hit equals. That's going to tell you how much money per week you value your time at. Now, most of the time, we don't look at it by the week, do we? So let's break it down even further. 7 days in a week. Realistically, how many days per week are you going to be working in your business next year? Whatever that number is, put it in, divide it by the first number, or by the second number, by the new number, and hit equals. And then put divides one more time. 8 hours in a workday, typically 24 hours in a full day. So how many hours per day are you truly going to invest in your business, in work, in doing your job, in earning that revenue? Divide the new number by the number of hours. And what you're going to find when you hit equals is your value of 1 hour of your time. Now, I don't know what number you came up with. I'm not a mind reader. I'm not going to play mind reader games on the video. But I do know that you came up with a number. I want you to take that number and I want you to write it down on multiple sticky notes. Just get the little sticky pad and write it out 10 times, X number of dollars. Put the dollar sign in there. Make it big, make it bold, make it visible. And I want you to take that number, that sticky note, and I want you to place it in 10 different places where you're going to see it all the time. Maybe you put one on your computer. Maybe you tape one to the back of your phone. Maybe you put one in your wallet or in your purse or on your briefcase. Maybe on the bathroom mirror. Maybe on your car's dashboard. Doesn't matter. But put them where they're visible. The refrigerator, big one for me. Big boy likes to eat. So by all means, put it on the refrigerator too. Put it next to the TV or where you hold the TV remote. Put it where you're going to see it all the time. And remember, that's the value you place on an hour of your time. Now, why are we doing this? Because again, I can mow my own lawn, right? I don't like to. And the only time I mow my own lawn is if cash flow is tight. It's been a while since I've had to mow the lawn, but I could do it. I don't want to. What's more important is that I know I value an hour of my time at over $250. Now, if I want to go take 2 hours, 3 hours out of my day to go do the landscaping around the house, I can do that. 2 or 3 hours at $250 an hour is $500 to $750 that I would spend. Now, if that's the case, would I mow the lawn, or would I pay a neighbor kid $20 to mow the lawn for me and go spend that time either generating revenue, spending time with my family, or doing something that's valued at $250 an hour or better? It's a no-brainer, isn't it? So take a look at your number and think about the things that you do. Think about everything that you wrote down on that sheet of paper. Don't look at it yet. We'll come to that next. But for right now, just think about all the things you do and ask yourself, is that above or below my pay grade? I value my hour at $250. So whatever it is that I'm doing, I'm constantly reminded that I need to keep myself operating at a $250 an hour level. I make excuses, I make exceptions, things come up. But for the most part, that's how I look at my day. Okay, is this above or below my pay grade? Do I need to be doing it? If not, we're going to have to find some other ways to get it done, or just to get rid of it altogether. We're going to talk about that in the next module. But for right now, just focus on that number. Again, if you're one of the 90% of the people who didn't actually go get a calculator before, shame on you. Stop it. Get a calculator. I'm going to review it one time for you right now. Grab a calculator. All you need are a couple of numbers. You need to know how much money you're going to make next year. How much money are you wanting to make next year? Make it a realistic number, but make it a stretch goal. Once you've got that number, figure out how many weeks out of 52 weeks are you going to work next year. 50, 48, whatever it is. Divide that total big number by the number of weeks and hit equal. That tells you what your week is valued at. Now, 7 days in a week, how many of those are you going to dedicate to what you're doing? Is it going to be 5? Is it going to be 6? Is it going to be 4? Whatever it is, I'm not judging. I'm just saying you got to now divide our new number by that number and hit equals. Now you've got what your day is valued at to you. That's an important number, but I want you to take it that next step. How many hours per week are you willing to work next year? How many hours, per day? How many hours per day are you going to work? Divide our new number by the number of days per week. Good Lord. Hours per day. There we go. You're going to work. And you're going to have a total. Hit equals. And you're done. That's it. Write that number down. Put it everywhere. Think about it. Think about it all the time. And catch yourself doing things that aren't valued at that number. See what happens. It's going to change the way you think of your time. It's going to change the way you think of your calendar. And it's going to change the way you value yourself. I hope this helps. If you haven't done it yet, I'll put the directions down below too. Do it. Learn your number. It's an important number to know. It's one of the most important numbers. Because without that, you really don't have much of a guide. And you're going to need that number in the next step. So, take care. We'll see you tomorrow with another module. And recognize this thing. You're doing great. Just keep it up.